those things.
Let me ask you a direct question. What is your opinion on the housing levy that was introduced on Kenyans on the Finance Bill of 2023, Finance Act of 2023?
To be truthful to you, I have told the president countless times that the people of Kenya do not want a housing program. The people of Kenya are of the view that building houses should be left to the private sector. They revisit the tenure of President Mwai Kibaki. President Mwai Kibaki opened the bypasses, built the roads, installed electricity and sewage. And then the houses just came up. Just go through the bypasses. So that you also allow the private sector to thrive. Again, people are of the view that housing is a very personal thing. And people should be allowed to build their own houses at their own time. And that is why you find, many people are not able to tell the president that truth. Many people are not able to tell him that truth. And that is why you found the other day when he was in Embu, he went to talk about that housing and people told him, no, we don't want it. Because it's reaching there, because you see what is happening to Kenyans. They find everybody else has failed them. MPs are not talking for them. Nobody is talking for them. Then they are left on their own now to address the president directly. It was very unfortunate because that shouldn't happen ordinarily, where people are shouting at the president. It's not right. It was very awkward for me. But people have reached there because he was talking about housing so passionately to people who believe it is not right, And many a times I told the president, Your Excellency, I've talking to many people. Professionals are talking to me, business people are talking to me, church people are talking to me. People think that we should concentrate on completing the projects that we inherited from President Uhuru Kenyatta. The Mau roads, the bypasses, all roads that are going on, irrigation dams, provide rural electrification. The people of Kenya feel that is what is a priority. Again, the people wanted us to pay the pending bills, which is about 900 billion. They felt that the issue of housing is really not a priority and it's a very individual thing, and they feel that it should be left to the private sector, And myself, Karanja, I'm a people's person. Once the people are of that opinion, that becomes my automatic opinion.
And that
the president was accusing me of not going to launch housing. It's one of the things repeatedly he would accuse me of. Wewe Rigiji unisaidii kwenda kufungua manyumba nini? Mwambia hii manyumba watu wataki boss. Sasa mimi sitaki kupigana na raia. Unajua hii wananchi ndio wametuajiri kazi. Mwambia rais, tumeajiriwa kazi na hii watu. Sasa hii kitu ya manyumba hii hawataki. Hata tukijaribu kuambia, they are not interested. Because even many times I would go with the president and he would start speaking. Normally he would take between 15 to 30 minutes depending on the mood he's in and how the crowd is and the reception. So with the time had started, how long he takes. So once he starts and I decide that he'll take 25 minutes, I would go and mix with the people when we are launching those projects. They would clearly just say they are not interested.
Mr. Gachagua, you're telling us that most of the advices you gave, you're saying you gave an opinion about SHA,
yes.
It was never heard. You gave an opinion about the housing levy, yes. It was never heard nor implemented.
It wasn't.
Then why did you insist on serving for that long? Why didn't you resign?
Well,
you were in a government
yes.
that clearly didn't want to heed your advice as the president's principal assistant.
Well, President William RUTO had not given me the job, so I was given by the people of Kenya. And there were a few things that I was doing that were okay. I was quite busy and happy to do the coffee reforms. I was quite happy to do the tea reforms. I was very happy to do reforms in the data sector.
Which you claimed were eventually sabotaged by Parliament. Up until recently.
But there was something that I was doing. I was working on the ACO program, and I felt there were a few things that I could continue doing that were beneficial to the people of Kenya. And since I had been employed by the people of Kenya, I could not leave the job simply because I'm not being listened to, because there were a few things on my own that I was doing quite successfully.
It would have been insincere, because you were saying even the work you did was sabotaged. You're saying you were given the job by the people of Kenya and you could not leave.
No, it was by the work I was doing was going very well until a decision was made to get rid of me. And then people now started sabotaging the programs that I was doing. Like the alcohol program I was doing was very successful. I did very serious meetings at the coast, at Eastern, at Central, at Rift Valley, and working with all the stakeholders in the security sector, KRA, KEBS, and everybody else, who were able actually to bring sanity in the villages in terms of drug and alcohol abuse. And my spouse, Pastor Dorcas, was also doing a different program and our office on addiction and rehabilitation. And it was working very well. And I was saying, even if I did nothing else, I was quite happy to remain as deputy president to do that program. But along the way, when a decision was made that I must leave office by way of impeachment, that decision was made about a year ago. So it's been a long struggle for a year. That is when it was decided that I must be removed from office, because I'm stubborn, because I'm asking too many questions, because I'm not defending corruption, because I'm not defending programs that cannot be defended. And that is when it started now interfering. The coffee subsector, money that had been voted for about for the cherry fund, about 4 billion, they only released 500 million so that I can fail, so that then they can blame me of not working on the coffee sector.
All right.
You know, people like the KTDA, we was involved in the fertilizer program, subsidization of fertilizer for tea, and money was never released so that I could fail. Those things happened the last 1 year. The first 1 year we worked well. I think the last year is when the president decided that I'm too much. He cannot control me. I'm asking too many questions. I'm not a yes person. I am difficult. I'm stubborn, in his own words. I'm erratic and all those things he would say. That is when now the good programs that I was doing that were very successful were sabotaged.
You've made your point. Let's now speak about the current situation. We are at a season where we are seeing you actively rallying up the Mount Kenya region. What is your...
Kenya is a country made of communities and regions. And in our politics, since the advent of multipartyism,